Do you remember how you learned to drive the car that you're driving right now? Which textbook did you refer? Which notes did you refer? Did you really refer to any notes? The modern day car driving exercise typically involves you to take an online test, so on and so forth. But how did you really learn to drive? You learn to drive by actually driving a vehicle, under supervision of course, but not through any textbook. Hi, my name is Mayuresh. I am the co-founder of GreyAtom and I look after the admissions and counseling. And over the last 2 years, I've had a chance to interact with a lot of you and help you make a transition into data sciences from your current stream. Through this web series, we take a lot of questions and answer them and help you make that transition. Thank you so much for all the overwhelming response so far. And we have a question today. The question is, what is immersive learning and why has GreyAtom incorporated it? Great question. So we really need to understand what is immersive learning in first place. There are a lot of these things that are being tossed around: immersive learning, experiential learning, blended learning. What exactly is it? And finally, why has GreyAtom kind of incorporated it? Great. Let me help you with what exactly immersive learning truly means. There are 5 elements to immersive learning. Number 1, focused attention. With focused attention, you are basically channelizing all your energy, all your attention to something very core, one common activity, and you're giving it your complete self. So that ensures that you bring out optimal outcomes from that whole exercise. Number 2, experimentation. Any kind of immersive learning requires you to do some amount of experimentation, to actually do something, to fail at it, to pass at it, to succeed and to fail. That's part of the game. Experimentation is very, very critical. Number 3, play. With immersive learning, you actually have to do something. You have to play. Just look at a child who is playing in a play group. They are learning. It's not just play for them, but they are learning. They're learning shapes, they're learning sizes, they're learning colors, they're learning how to stack objects on top of each other. Any immersive learning involves play. Number 4, any immersive learning requires you to repeat the activity again and again so that you reinforce it, you internalize it, and you're able to bring it again and again. And lastly, any immersive learning requires the task, the objective to be real. It has to be a real thing that you're doing through which some real learning and outcomes can come about. Now that you know what immersive learning truly means, let's look at how we are using immersive learning at GreyAtom. How we have really built in, factored in the whole element of immersive learning at GreyAtom. At GreyAtom, we have a platform-based approach. What we typically mean with that is, we have a product called Commit.live. With Commit.live, it's a web-based application where you log in, you log all your work that you do within Commit.live, and there is a clear evidence and proof that you have done that work. It gets posted on GitHub and your social profile essentially keeps on getting built as you move on. So this brings in the elements that we just saw with immersive learning, that there is a play, there is a repeated activity, and there is a tangible evidence that is getting created of something that you have built. Secondly, the learning essentially is online plus offline. So there is a classroom-based instructor-led session where a lot of learning happens in multiple dimensions. And then the learning essentially can be taken online where you consume a lot of material yourself, you practice, you do it yourself. So I think this incorporates a lot of elements of having focused attention while you are doing the whole thing solo, as a group activity. And there is again that whole play involved in the classroom where you are interacting with a lot of peers, you are interacting with the instructors. Third, project-based learning. Anything that you do with respect to learning, you are always working on projects. You're always working on a problem statement end to end. So that's very, very critical from a learning perspective. Number 4, hackathons. And number 5, hiring challenges. Please check out the dedicated video that we have about what are hackathons and what are hiring challenges. That will give you a complete idea of what these are and why they play a very, very critical role with respect to learning. So we looked at what immersive learning is. We looked at how GreyAtom has incorporated it in their learning possibilities. The number one reason why we essentially do it is learning outcomes. At GreyAtom, we are completely and totally fanatic about learning outcomes. We believe, I think, these learning outcomes will essentially scale and make a complete thorough professional out of you. I hope I've answered this question about what immersive learning is and why GreyAtom has incorporated it. All the best.